She sips the Coca-Cola, she can't tell the difference yet. She can't tell the difference yet. She can't tell the difference yet. That's what you're coming for. You don't wanna let you leave. You don't get back to the door. You're asking what's happening. You're standing now. Enough of the arguments. She sips the Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference.
Hello, welcome back to Cambridge Auto Sounds. I'm Nathan, and this is a brand new Toyota GR86. It's been in for a few days for some detailing. We've done a new car detail and ceramic coating on it. In talking to the customer, he's also interested in a sound upgrade. There's a few levels of upgrade and installation that we can do to this. I'm going to try and document all the different options, or some of the different options that we can do. The main issue, which we've sort of got to the bottom of already, was that there's a really bad vibration. The customer described it as a farting sound coming from the doors, just with the stock speakers. So I've taken some video of that. I'll drop that in, but let me show you what the issue is. So this is the passenger side, and we've already got the door card off. Very easy to get these Toyota door cards off. It's just 3 screws and then some pop clips. And then obviously the door handle and locking mechanism are just some speed clips on the back. 6.5 inch speaker, and then this very, very thin water membrane. So that's needed because when the car came in, it was a wet day, and you can see how wet it was behind the water membrane. Basically, this side of the door, so water will run down your window and it will get down that rubber seal. And then the inside of that door is a wet enclosure, or it's designed to be wet. This then stops any moisture coming through onto the cabin side. The problem being though, obviously this car is all about being lightweight. On some things like this, they might have gone a bit too far, especially when sound's concerned, and this just vibrates and like a baggy drum skin with the output from the speaker. So I'll drop that in now, just showing you what that sounds like with this membrane in place. On the driver's side, we've already removed the membrane and re-listened to the system, unplugged the passenger side, and then just played it with the driver's side playing. And it gets rid of 90% or more of that vibration noise that we were hearing. So we obviously still need to seal these holes up, which we'll do with our own sound deadening. We'll add a little bit of sound deadening to that outer skin, because if you can hear, that's quite a thin panel, and it's going to produce a lot of resonance when the car's driving, but also when the speaker's playing. That's going to create some resonance. We're going to add some 3mm sound deadening around where the actual speaker mounts, and then a 2mm sound deadening over some of this kind of larger expanse of the inner door skin to seal those holes, but also just to kind of take a bit of that resonance and vibration out of the door. And then we'll put a 3mm closed cell foam over the whole door, just to try and block any road noise that's coming through as well. We're going to do this in stages. So what I'm going to do is do the sound deadening to the door, and then put the OEM speakers back in and replay the system. I have got some video that I'll drop in now. That still doesn't sound brilliant. There's a lot of it's kind of like quite a poppy bass noise. It's not vibrating anymore, but I think that's just the characteristics of such a cheap lightweight speaker. What I'm also going to do, if this gimbal will pan round, is with these scales, I'm going to weigh everything, and this has kind of unraveled itself a bit now, but this is the membrane that we took off that door. I'm going to weigh everything that comes off and everything that goes on. So that's 63 grams for that door. For that door membrane. Weigh everything that comes off and weigh everything that goes on, and then we can document how much weight we're adding to this car, because this is designed primarily to be kind of a lightweight, purist sports car, and people that own these cars, I know just from chatting to them and reading online, they are concerned about weight. So we don't want to be going to maybe the extents that we do on some cars of adding full sound deadening to the whole door. but we do want to add some because the guy that owns this car is still kind of interested in audio quality, but not at the kind of full sacrifice of adding unnecessary weight to the car. So we'll document how much weight we're adding. People in the future can then use that information to decide which of the options they want to do. Just show you a little bit on this. So it's actually got this is a 2mm bitumen skins sheet, so it adds density to the panel. But I weighed it, that one whole sheet of that's about 700 grams, and it's quite a big sheet. So we used one whole sheet of that on the outer skin, so that's 700 grams, and then another sheet to seal up the larger holes and also just to give a bit of deadening to that inner panel. This is half a sheet of a 3mm product, so it's a thicker product, gives more deadening, it's a kind of heavier mass. But the single sheet of that is about 500 grams. And yes, we've used half a sheet, so 250 grams, just around the speaker, just to give that a bit more deadening where the actual kind of main vibration and pressure and force of that speaker is working. Some of these smaller holes, like around there where the cables come out, that's then been gone over with PPF to try and seal that as best as possible. And then there's a small hole there, for instance, that's been gone over with PPF, which is actually a stiffer product. Oh, you can't see it. It's actually a stiffer product than the plastic that was on the car, but that seals up these holes, and it's a stiffer product, so it's not going to give that same loose drum skin vibration that we had on the old one. So if you just wanted sound deadening, that's basically what your door cards will look like afterwards. And I'll flash it up on the screen or put it in the description how much weight we've added just for that option, and that gets rid of all that vibration and gives the speaker a bit of a firmer mounting, and takes a lot of resonance out of that door card so that it sounds better even just from doing this. Just thought I'd show you this on the head unit. So you've got, you press and hold this button here to go to this screen, which is sound customization. You've got bass, treble, mid. The bass was up in the last video, so I've reset that. Balance and faders as reset. Voice control, and then you've got voice stage enhancer, so that's all off, so there's no audio being affected by the head unit. But then you press menu, settings and sound, and then audio, and then you've got sound customization. That takes you back to the screen that you can access by pressing this button. So then I've turned all of these off. Sound restorer I've turned off. Virtual bass, that was on mid, I've turned that off, and dynamic beat enhancer was on mid, I've turned that off as well. So we're now down to as flatter a kind of signal that the head unit can give as possible. It has improved the horrible sound of the bass speaker, or the woofer in the door anyway, to a point. So if I turn this back up and so I don't know if that actually shows up in the video, that horrible, there's me doing that impression again, that farting noise, which is basically this loose plastic on the door vibrating, that goes away. That door's nice and solid, still doesn't sound the best. The actual woofer is a bit poppy and hollow sounding, but that's been improved by changing those head unit settings. So we'll get this one sound deadened and have a listen to the system as it is with these OEM speakers. I have also received actually the newer speakers now, so let me show you those. So these are the new speakers, the Audison Prima range, so that's the 6.5, that's the 4 that's going to go on the dash, and that's the tweeter that's going to get put on the back of these grille panels. So that's the speaker grills that go on the dash. As you can see, it has got the cutout for a mid and a tweeter, which is nice, means we don't have to modify those at all. The 4-inch, either I'm going to have to modify this speaker slightly to get it into the dash, or I'll modify the dash very slightly. But depth-wise, it's not a problem. You've got a decent amount of depth there. We're just printing some speaker adapters up for these to go into the doors, and then I've got some wiring adapters coming as well, so we're not going to have to cut anything on the car. These plugs on the door speaker, we've ordered a female version of those, so like that then goes to 2 bare wires that we can wire into the door speaker. So we don't have to cut any of that off. Everything's going to be reversible should the customer wish to put it back to standard, and obviously helps with the warranty. The next stage will be doing the speaker upgrade, which we will show you next.